Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Vrtavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim. Oh. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna, the ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanura Mardanam Devakim Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. So, Sri Krishna continues with his teaching of the types of sacrifices that people do in order to become a real karma yogi. Now, this is the 28th verse that we will be reading today, and the previous verse 27, Sri Krishna had told us that Sarvani Indriya Karmani Prana Karmani Chapare Atma Sanyama Yogagnau Juvati Jnana Deepite. That there are other people, again, there are some others who sacrifice, who offer all the actions of the senses. Sarvani Indriyani Karmani, all the actions of the senses and functions of life energy, the prana karmani cha apare, and also the functions of the life energy, prana karmani. Then atma sanyama yogagnau, as sacrifice in the fire of self-control. They offer everything as sacrifice in the fire of self-control, which is kindled, which is ignited, which is powered by knowledge. Having got that knowledge, they offer everything, they sacrifice everything into that fire of self-control. And leaving everything onto the Lord, leaving everything to the divine, they plunge into doing all sorts of activities, not taking responsibility of the ownership, because it is God's work. They are just instruments. And in this today's 28th Shloka, Sri Krishna is again going to tell us what different types of sacrifices people also perform. What are the different types of offerings people also perform to relinquish their little self, their lower self, and sacrificing everything at the lotus feet of the Lord. So Sri Krishna says, dravya-yajñās, tapo-yajñā, yoga-yajñās tathāpare, swādhyāya-jñāna-yajñāśh, yatayaḥ sanśhita-vratāḥ. Dravya-yajñā, tapo-yajñā. Dravya, the offering of wealth. People will give up everything for the betterment of others. People will give up all their, earnings, wealth, properties for the betterment of the humankind. Tapo-yajñā. When they will also offer whatever their earnings through various tapas, austerities that they have conducted in their life. Dravya-yajñā, tapo-yajñā, yoga-yajñā, tathāpare. And also others, they offer the achievements they have gained through performing various sorts of yoga. The Ashtanga Yoga, the Eightfold Yoga that Patanjali talks about in the Yoga Sutra. So there are some others who also offer all the benefits, all the riches they have received, they have gained after performing those 8 types of yogas. Swādhyāya-jñāna-yajñāśh. They also sacrifice their learnings, swādhyāya, the self-learning, and jnana, whatever knowledge they have received. Because when you are on the spiritual path, you don't need any of this worldly knowledge as such. Whatever you have read in the Vedas and Shastras and Samhitas and scriptures and Puranas, that is only going to put you on the path. But when you are going to reach the last stage on the spiritual path, that time no knowledge is required. So they offer everything that they have learned at the lotus feet of the Lord, and devoid, because knowledge again has a tendency to beget egotism. I am a learned person, I am Pandit. So these humble devotees, these humble yogis, what they do, they even offer swādhyāya and jnana, whatever they have learned themselves through the self-effort, swādhyāya, whatever they have learned through the self-effort, and jnana, and the knowledge that they have earned. That is not required when you are going to be one with the Lord, because you are going to be one with the ultimate knowledge, what this scriptural knowledge or textbookish knowledge is going to be of any use then. So even others, they offer the swādhyāya, the learnings from the self-effort, and jnana. And also yatayaḥ, sanśhita-vratāḥ. Those sanśhita-vratāḥ is people who have rigid vows, who have stern determinations. These people, they even sacrifice the learnings through self-effort and the knowledge, and empty-handed, without any baggage, they just roam around in the world doing all activities. They are not bothered about the outcome of the activities. They are not bothered about the fruits of the action, and in totally detached manner, no attachment at all to the work, to the fruits of the work, in a detached spirit. As instruments in the hands of the Lord, they will be extremely busy doing all sorts of works. So the literal translation of this shloka: yet others offer wealth, austerity, and yoga as sacrifice, while still others of self-denial and extreme vows, people with extreme vows and self-denial, they offer sacred study and knowledge as sacrifice, the swādhyāya and the jnana, and they have nothing with them now. They are free to do work. They are free to plunge into the activities as per the Lord's wish. There are other forms of yajna suited to sadhaka's disposition and merit, what he deserves. There are several kinds of sacrifices. Now, Sri Krishna has narrated those sacrifices, sacrificing wealth. First of all, acquire wealth. Acquire wealth in most sincere manner, most honestly, most dedicatedly. Acquire wealth. But that wealth which you have acquired from others, give it back to others. Give it back for the cause of the humanity. Give it for the cause of betterment of others. Do charity. Do philanthropy. Use that wealth. Otherwise, that wealth is of no use which you have earned from others. So acquiring wealth by honest means and utilizing it for the public will is also a form of yoga. Yajna is also a sacrifice. The scrap iron is melted and recast anew. We sell so many old items. They are again recycled and converted into reusable matter again. So whatever I have got, let me give it back. Whether it is wealth, whether it is self-effort, whether it is knowledge, whether it is austerities, any gains through austerities. Similarly, man reforms himself through austerity and self-purgation, self-purification. There is always an effort towards self-improvement. So whatever he has earned through performing all these austerities, japa, dhyana, all these things, all those are also sacrificed for the betterment of others. There is another form of yajna, constant practice of Raja Yoga or the Ashtanga Yoga that constitutes yajna to some others. The Ashtanga Yoga, as Patanjali has described in the Yoga Sutras, the yama, niyama, then asana, pranayama, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, and ultimately samadhi. So all this, even there are people who practice this kind of yogic exercises. The yoga regimen as propounded by Patanjali, eightfold yoga sutras, eightfold yogas, even they give up everything, all their benefits that they have earned through performing this eightfold yoga. They offer it as sacrifice at the lotus feet of the Lord. I don't need anything. I did all those things for achieving something. I have achieved something and now I have no need to carry it with me. Let me offer it to the Lord and let me remain busy as an instrument in the hands of the Lord. Let these tags not be with me. Let these packages be not with me of even the Ashtanga Yoga. So that also is one type of sacrifice that Sri Krishna is telling. Sacred study is superior to secular study. Naturally, studying scriptures, reading Puranas, that kind of study, studying Bhagavad Gita is far superior than the secular studies. Secular studies will give you understanding of the things secular. What is there within this creation, that too you can come to know only partly. You can't know the creation. You can't know in totality what is there around us. We cannot know about ourselves. We cannot study anything in totality as far as that study is pertaining to the secular things secular. But the spiritual study, that is what is going to take us far, far ahead and far, far beyond here and hereafter. It requires good deal of self-preparation. The spiritual, unlike secular studies, the spiritual study is not so easy. It needs tremendous self-preparation. Possibly through the Ashtanga Yoga, we do yama. We take vows of getting engaged into ahimsa, being truthful, not stealing, then maintaining celibacy and aparigraha, that not accepting any gifts. I mean, basically not collecting anything. So that kind of yama. Then niyama, the disciplined life. So these are all the kind of things we bring in. We bring in our system as a matter of self-preparation to get ready to offer all these things, to get ready to reach the stage of offering all these things that we have learned, that we have gained, that we have earned, whether it is wealth, whether it is the gains through tapas, the austerities, or whether it is gains through this Ashtanga Yoga. All this self-preparation that we are doing is to make ourselves eligible, to make ourselves fit, to sacrifice everything that we have earned, whatever it is. Through devoted study and reverent exposition, the divine knowledge in one increases. And that is what is required. The knowledge secular is going to take us only to certain path. It is not going to take us into the realm of the divine. That knowledge secular is going to only satisfy our understanding of the things secular, not the divine. This is done as through devoted study and reverent exposition, the divine knowledge in one increases, and a stage comes when one even sacrifices that knowledge. Sacrifices that knowledge to gain something much higher, divine. That thing which a man devotedly contributes for the welfare of others multiplies in him. It is not if I give anything to others, that thing gets reduced in me. No. The more I give, the more it comes back to me. Maybe tenfold. So therefore Sri Krishna says that there are people who perform all these different types of sacrifices. The intention is, let me not have the feeling of me and mine. What is the basic reason for all these sacrifices? Whether it is wealth, whether it is the gains through tapas, whether it is gains through yoga, whether it is gain through self-effort, whether it is gain through knowledge. What is that? Ultimately, sacrificing all these things is just to make me understand that I am a simple child of the Divine Mother. I am just an instrument in the hands of the Lord. And with that understanding, having sacrificed everything, so people can take up whole lot of sacrifices. Like he had already told us in the previous verses. They will sacrifice their self, they will sacrifice their sense organs, they will sacrifice their senses, they will sacrifice the sense objects, they will sacrifice the wealth, they will sacrifice the gains, they will sacrifice knowledge, everything. All these things sacrifices people, different people of different attitudes, of different natures. It is not that all devotees, that all karma yogis, they do all sorts of sacrifices. So this is another sacrifice that Sri Krishna has explained to us in this 28th shloka of the 4th adhyaya, the Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. That is our reading for the day. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swami.